Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch bison's ass so hard that the next bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 305. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan, the podcaster formerly known as Classic Robinson.
What's going on, man? I want to say, that my Spider-Man cup.
Always?
It's a mystery. It's always a mystery. What's in the cup? What's in the cup?
Okay.
So I was at last episode. I was still, recovering from my post-zombie apocalypse sinus infection. So I was a little off. I was a little off with some of the stories.
It's okay.
But I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Nice.
Good.
Love it.
And
love it.
And I got something special in the Spider-Man cup that's going to contribute to making this a great episode.
Okay. Dan, always committed Robinson over here. I love it. it. So,
well, listen, it's semi-healthy. It has fruit in it. Little
okay.
Has fruit in the cup.
Very nice. Listen. What you mix up in the kitchen is your own business, and I appreciate the commitment. I'll say that. Now, you may notice behind me right now the statue of lovely Mega Man, the Blue Bomber. It's finally came down. Do you know?
Massive statue.
Do you know it is? Yeah, it's like 2 feet tall. Do you know that 3.5 years ago, I saw that First Four Figures were making a Mega Man, I guess it was Mega Man 11 inspired, like original Mega Man style Mega Man statue, right? In 3 different flavors. You can get the basic one that doesn't light up. You can get the kind of middle ground one, which does light up. It doesn't have all the fancy effects. And then you can get the like kind of super blown out one, like he's coming out of this crazy ass explosion, and you get the little helper bot thing over here and the missile flying off the side. It's awesome. I love it. And that shit, the box that it came in was almost as tall as me. Like, they packed that thing. Like, I opened it up and there was a box within a box with a bunch of styrofoam around it. And then another box, which was the actual box for the item, right? And then that was all nicely packed in a huge big styrofoam block. And then everything was like taped down and like really like they made sure that this thing wasn't going to break. Like you would have had to really try to toss it around and break it. But I got it. I love it.
Was it tough to assemble? Right. I mean, I'm sure you had to put like some parts together or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So the base is all one piece. So the little bottom piece with the arrows and where all the smoke is one piece. And then the thing on the back was connected. These little, I guess fire bursts or whatever were separate. This little robot was separate, and Mega Man and the missile was separate. This is actually, I think they're magnets. They're attached by magnets, which is awesome. So once you get it in there, there's a little plug or hole or whatever and you kind of slip it in, and then the magnet kind of attaches it, and it's like it ain't going anywhere unless you like try and get it out of there.
Okay.
Super cool. Yeah, First Four Figures, awesome. Not a plug. We are not sponsored by them, although we would totally take a sponsorship.
Yeah, them and Lukey Games.
Exactly.
Definitely.
They're the best. They're the best. High quality companies. So.
Okay. No, listen, awesome. I don't have a lot of I don't think I have any actual just like statues. Like
I'm looking at a row up there. I see
well, all the statues that I have are like statues that were special edition to actual games, right? Like I didn't actually go out and buy just a regular statue from a toy
sure.
company.
Sure.
Yeah.
But they're just the same
because they're massive. Because those are like the regular, like when you buy like a figure, like a statue from like a toy company, they are massive. Right? If you on YouTube Mint Gems collection,
Gem Mint collectibles.
Gem Mint collection. Yeah. He unboxes these all the time, and they they're huge boxes, and you got to put them together and assemble them. Right? Like I haven't done that. That's the one thing I haven't done. And if I did do it, it would be for a Spider-Man statue. Like I would buy a Spider-Man statue.
Spider-Man would be awesome.
Or Wolverine.
Wolverine would also be awesome. Yeah.
Or Batman. If it was DC, I would buy a Batman one. So.
I think those would have some extra hoops to jump through in terms of licensing. Because it's not just like, the game company is licensing the likeness of Batman for that particular game, right? So it's an extra step. Although, it would be amazing if First Four Figures put out one for like Arkham Asylum or something, right? Him just sitting on top of a perch.
There are statues that do have the license for PC.
Oh yeah,
First Four. Yeah.
You could totally get it from anywhere, and there's some great Batman statues that I've definitely contemplated, for sure.
Wait, so how's the game going? Like you sprung on me last week that you made a game.
Oh yeah. I've made some small updates to it. Couple of UI changes, added a bunch of new songs. That's about where it's at. I kind of put it down for a little bit. I got some other stuff. Got some other stuff in the hopper. Some actual paid work, which I'm working on. So I kind of shifted over a little bit. So the game's on hiatus for the moment, but that doesn't mean I won't get back to it. That doesn't mean there won't be a working mobile version in the near future. But for the moment, it's on a break.
But everybody can still play it.
Oh yeah. It's still up online. It still works. There's no bugs as far as I know.
So for the people who didn't listen to the last episode, what's the link to get to the game?
Oh, yeah. So it's MTV remote control .site. S-I-T-E. You can go there right now and play the game. It is based on the late 80s, early 90s TV show called Remote Control. It's the bonus round, which I recreated, which you have to guess 9 music videos. Guess the artist of 9 different music videos. In this case, it's 2 minutes. The original game was 30 seconds, but since you got to type it out and whatever else, 2 minutes to guess all this stuff. So, and you do that, you win. You get a nice little windscreen, and you can see all the videos that were in the mix.
Got it. Okay. Right. Actually, so I finished Peacemaker on HBO Max. Right.
I'm a few episodes behind, but okay.
Fantastic show. Caught me by surprise. Yeah. Right. John Cena did an incredible job. Incredible job. I think he's in the Fast and the Furious. He's done some other movies. I think his acting career is on the way up. This is a fantastic show. He hit lightning in a bottle with this one. So
he's got good comedic timing. He's a good comedy actor.
He does. I think The Rock is more of an action star, right? I mean, he's done some serious role, semi-serious roles. I want to say, he was still an action movie, but it was a serious movie back.
Like Walking Tall,
Walking Tall, yeah. He's done some Disney movies, and I think he's good at doing stuff like that too. But I think he's more of an action star, where John Cena, I think, more of that big comedic actor, like Terry Crews.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Same vibe.
Dude.
Same vibe.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he could do that. So I love that show. Love the finale. Thought it was awesome. Can't wait to see what they do with season 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched Cuphead. Cuphead is out. This
Oh,
Netflix
so did I.
show.
Yeah. Finally got the TV show out.
Episodes are really short, right? Like it could be between 15 minutes and 20 minutes, so they're really short, in and out.
Mm-hmm.
And I gotta say, I don't know how you feel about it, but it wasn't sold.
Really?
I like the animation.
Yeah.
Animation is on point. Just wasn't feeling sort of like the story bits.
Okay.
I just, like the first episode ties in kind of to the game.
Right? Yeah.
And then every other episode strays away from that. And it's standalone away from elements of the game. And I just
Yeah.
I wasn't a big fan of that. I wasn't a big fan of the voice actors. Like I didn't think they fit. At least when I played Cuphead, I sort of would imagine a different type of voice. Like I didn't think they would. Yeah, like I didn't think that's how they would sound and that's how they would interact with each other.
I can
Cuphead
see that.
Man.
Yeah, they sound, I don't know, a little more adult, maybe a little more gruff. Is that fair to say? Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you on that. I mean, it took me back to the old Looney Tunes, Merry Melodies, right? All the old Warner Brothers stuff from like way back in the day. They even do the title cards in that way, right? They have that nice kind of Art Deco typography and all that with the little curtains on the side. I said, oh yeah, it feels like I would wake up on Saturday morning and watch these cartoons in like a half-hour block or an hour block or whatever it is.
Yeah, I just probably wouldn't have watched it when I was a kid because I don't think I would have liked it, to be honest.
Okay. Yeah. But it's good. I mean, I would definitely say check it out. I'm with you on the art style and the music and all that. It's definitely worth checking out. I mean, I blew through like 4 of them pretty quickly, so they're not a big time investment.
Okay. All right, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
We have an awesome show this week. Coming up, we're going to talk about the Steam Deck. All the reviews, or a lot of reviews, are out. Still some reviews pending, right? But we're going to talk about all the Steam reviews that actually got released. And then we're also going to talk about the PlayStation VR 2. We've seen it. They've shown it. But we still don't know when it's going to be released.
Well. We've seen the... Well, we'll get into it. Yeah.
We've seen photos of the design and what it looks like.
Right.
Yeah. We haven't actually had hands-on. Nobody has hands-on. But we'll get into it later in the show. Before we get into any of that, let's begin with the DICE Awards 2022 that happened just a few days ago.
Yep.
I got to be honest, like I feel like there's a lot of hype for the Video Game Awards, but there's a lot of prestige for the DICE Award.
Yeah, because I think it's more, the DICE Awards are more for the industry and not for the consumer, maybe? Is that kind of fair to say? Not to say you couldn't watch it. Like I watched like the first hour of it or whatever, but it's a different tone. Yeah, it's a different tone than the Game Awards for sure.
I feel one, people still dressed up. Well, it seems like smaller in scale.
Yeah,
right? Because it's not in like a huge auditorium. It's It's sort of like a hall, and people look like they're like sitting down having dinner and having the awards, right? Sort of like not the Oscars. What's the other like sort of award shows that they
Oscar,
have?
Emmys, Grammys, Golden Globes.
Emmys. Emmys.
Sure.
Emmys.
Sure.
Like the Emmys seem like on a smaller scale. Like everyone is sort of like at a round table. Like they probably had dinner earlier in the night, right?
Yeah.
And then they sit around for the awards. That's what this seems like, right? So this is more of like, it gives me like the Emmys vibe, but. I kind of think it's a little bit more prestige in video games. It's a little bit more prestigious than the Game Awards, if that makes sense. So I'm not going to rattle off all the winners, but just rattle off some. Ratchet and Clank took away the most awards for. They got Outstanding Achievement in Animation, Art Direction, Family Game of the Year, and Outstanding Technical Achievement. So they got the most awards. Halo Infinite won Action Game of the Year and Online Game of the Year, which was controversial to you.
Yeah, because it's kind of a half-baked online experience, and I mean that in the most, I don't know, the most loving way possible, as in, like, I know they're trying to make the experience better. I know they had a rough go of it. I know they had to wait a whole entire, well, they had that whole entire year to, like, fix all the problems, and they're, you know, I think they're a good company. They're fixing all the problems, but they're not quite there yet. There's game modes that are missing. Big Team Battle has been busted for a while. It's still a little bit janky. There's like in-game lag and character warping and all that. And yeah, you're just kind of missing some stuff. But it's still great. Don't get me wrong. It is a great experience.
Okay. Returnal won like pretty much the audio portion of the awards. Outstanding achievement in audio design and original music composition.
Amazing.
This was surprising. Outstanding achievement in story. Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sure.
Pleasantly surprised because I thought the story was fantastic, even though the game was a little bit longer than it should have been.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the story was great. And action adventure game of the year went to Guardians of the Galaxy as well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And game of the year, and also took outstanding achievement in game design. It Takes Two. So It Takes Two just racking up game of the year.
Come on now. I think we were a big part of that push. We were saying, or I was saying at least, hey, It Takes Two. It Takes Two. It Takes Two. It Takes Two.
When we beat it in the middle of last year, the first thing you said when we beat it was, "This is game of the year." This is game of the year.
Now we ended up with Psychonauts 2 at the end of the day, which arguably is a better game, but It Takes Two were really surprising. You know, like. Because we had a fun time with the last one, right? A Way Out.
We did.
But it wasn't game of the year necessarily. This one definitely in my
leaps
eyes.
and bounds, way better.
Mm-hmm.
Way better.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say no love to Psychonauts 2. All these awards. No love to Psychonauts 2. Just gotta point that out.
It did get nominated though, right? It was in the mix.
It did.
Yeah.
It was in the mix. It just didn't get nominated for any of the awards.
Mm-hmm.
So racked up nothing, which was disappointing.
So one thing about this that I thought was awesome, I had to watch it because our boy Greg Miller, right, also Jessica Chobot, they were host and they were both co-hosts, and
as they always are.
Yeah.
I mean, last year didn't happen, but well, I don't know if last year happened or they did it digitally. Well, 2020 definitely didn't happen.
Yeah,
but I think like since 2018, like they both hosted.
Yep. And he came out pretty early on stage and said, "Fuck Bobby Kotick." Straight up at the DICE Awards. Fuck that dude, right? Because they were going into, they were talking about workplace conditions for developers and all that, and safe environments. And I was like, okay, what are you gonna do? And Greg Miller's like, nah, fuck that. First he said F Bobby Kotick, and then he was like, no, fuck Bobby Kotick. Didn't even hide it. All right, so
well, and you know what? I got to be honest. Bobby Kotick probably doesn't care because when this Microsoft, Activision Blizzard acquisition goes through,
sadly he'll be fine.
Money.
Yep. Sadly, he'll be fine.
He's gonna be beyond fine.
Mm-hmm.
he's gonna be beyond fine.
I mean, honestly, even if there was no acquisition and he still left, he would still be fine because everybody at the top gets a golden parachute, so they always get paid out at the end of the day, which is insane.
Yeah. So I'm sure he's like, you can say F me all you want. My bank account's not gonna say F me.
I know.
Sadly enough.
Mm-hmm.
But you know who's not sad? I'll tell you who's not sad.
Who's not sad?
and Bandai Namco. Because Elden Ring has released. Elden Ring is getting 10 out of 10 masterpiece reviews pretty much across the board. And Elden Ring reaches 600,000 players an hour after it launched.
Yep. Yeah,
which is insane.
It's sitting at a 97 on Metacritic with over 49 critic reviews. It's got a 97. There are 0 negative reviews, 49 positive reviews. Yeah, that's not surprising. That's not surprising. Yeah. I need to take notice and jump on this game.
The only reason why they don't have any negative reviews because we're not we're not certified to be on Metacritic yet. Because if we were, I would give this the biggest negative review.
This guy hasn't even played the game yet, and he's like, "Yeah." So there are no user scores yet, which I guess they're waiting for Tuesday. I don't know. But
honestly, there shouldn't be user scores until a week after the game has already been released.
Because you need a little bit of time with the game. Yeah.
Yeah. I hate it when you have user scores and the game's not even launched yet. Right? Like I hate when they do that. So
yeah, people want to review bomb it and whatever else. They're like, oh, well, this person said this on Twitter, so I need to take this game down. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. Judge the game on the merits of the game, right? If it's a good game, it's a good game. The game should stand alone.
It's an open world Souls game that you can play co-op.
Mm-hmm.
Still not something for me. I don't care. I'm probably gonna pick this up around Christmas time when it's on sale for like $20, right? So that's probably when I'm gonna pick it up, and it probably will say sealed. It would be one of the two sealed games.
You're definitely going to be curious to play it. No. I know you're going to be curious to play it. You're going to rip that game open and play it. It has an easier game experience, Dan. They have stated that. They listened to the fans and they said, okay, we know the Souls games are very hard. And they added some systems and mechanics in there to make it a little bit easier for people who don't want balls to the wall challenge. All right. So I don't know. I'm kind of hyped. Yeah. I am moving up my purchase of this game. I don't know when I'm going to get it, but it's definitely going to be a lot sooner than the holiday season 2022.
They made it a lot easier, and now you can run away from the boss battle if you're getting your ass kicked.
This is good.
Yeah.
This is good.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
But you know what is good, Dave? As we always try to start the show, but epically fail.
Mm-hmm.
What have you been playing?
Oh,
that's good.
Oh, so you know what came out, Dan? You know what came out recently? The last of the Pixel remasters for the original set of Final Fantasy games. This is 1 through 6. Ends on the Super Nintendo. Final Fantasy VI just dropped on the 22nd, and it is surprisingly only for PC and iOS Android. So I have the PC version. I am playing Final Fantasy VI with a Xbox 360 controller hooked up to my PC on my widescreen monitor. And I got to say, I'm okay with it.
Okay.
It is a very divisive game, and not just 6, but all of them. Some people are just like, this is the worst thing ever. Some people love it. People vehemently hate certain parts of the game, like the opera scene. People have a lot of comments on. I'm pretty open-minded about it. It is my favorite game of all time, so I do have criticisms about it. There are some legit issues, like when you start the game up. It takes like a couple seconds for the controller to sync for some reason, even after the game loads and you're in the game and you see your character and you're like, I want to move. Can't move yet. So, and there's a couple of small nitpicky things that I'm like, but overall, very, very happy with it. It has the Game Boy Advanced translation, more or less. With the monsters and all that, the original American version, the guy Ted Woosley who did it took some liberties. So the actual better translated names, there's a lot of differences there, which is cool. I'm glad they did that. They updated a lot of the graphics in the game. It is now widescreen, which is awesome. And yeah, man, I'm gonna play it yet again for the 100th fucking time.
Okay.
So I'm pretty happy.
I'm still playing Horizon Forbidden West on a PS5.
Okay.
It's amazing. Listen, it is not like the first game.
I know you're championing this game like it's sliced bread over here. Okay.
I'm telling you.
Okay.
Once you get to I would say a pro tip: try to save at these, like when you get to the fire pit, you can save the game. Try to save as much as possible every time you see a fire pit, because you can fast travel back there. And you never know when you want to get back there.
Okay.
Right? Just don't go and say, I'm not going to save. I'm just going to keep going. No, save, because it's fast travel. So when you go all the way to this side of the map and you liberate whatever you have to do, right, and then you got to come all the way back here, you don't want to have to traverse back there, right?
Right. You want to fast travel.
So
yeah. Okay.
It's fantastic. I actually do have it on story mode.
Of course, you want to experience the game, and I get that.
I do have it on story mode, which Elden Ring, if they had, I would buy it day one. But I'm getting, again, I didn't think the story was bad, but I think the story is my least favorite part of the game. I mean, you have platforming elements like Uncharted, right? That I like, and you have puzzle elements that you have to figure out, which I like as well. I think the game is just way better than the first one, man, and it's really hooked me. I don't know if I'll beat it. It's about 30 to 35 hours, I'm hearing, and I'm only 12, 13 hours in. Okay. Right? But it's just a better experience.
It's pretty chunky, yeah. I bet it's cut down a little bit in story mode, the actual amount of time. But
maybe.
Yeah. I mean, even if it's 25 to 30 hours, that's still pretty chunky. Your average first-person shooter is maybe 8 to 12 at most. You can beat it in a week, if even. Beat it in a Thanksgiving Day weekend if you're a one Dan Robinson. But Horizon is not that game, right? Horizon takes a little more time.
Takes a long time.
Yeah.
All right, on that note, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we get into the top gaming news of last week. And we're back. All right, let's get into the top gaming news of last week. Let's get into our lead story. The Steam Deck, it's out. Well, it's out to reviewers.
Yeah.
If you pre-order it, it should be on its way to you. They're trying to complete all those orders out. It's getting pretty good reviews. I'm not gonna lie. Games Radar gave it a 90. Well, first, a lot of review outlets like IGN, PC Mag have their reviews in progress, so they're still waiting to have some time with it and do some different things with it to give it a final review. Games Radar gave it a 90, which is the highest review that's out right now, right? Like it's pretty much 90s, like Tech Radar, Windows Central, stuff like that. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the dissenting reviews. Okay? Semi-dissenting, right? Because Game Informer gave it a 67. It's still listed as a positive review on Metacritic, but they gave it a 67. The worst review I can find right now is from Wired, which gave it a 50.
Wow. All right. That
they said it was bulky. It wasn't as ergonomic, right?
Ergonomic, yeah.
I mean, or ergonomic. It's pretty much, a lot of the games on the Steam library don't run as well on it as well.
Oh,
another issue.
Well, that's interesting because they were really touting compatibility with a lot of that stuff.
They pretty much said if you're not a hardcore gamer, right, then this isn't probably for you. I mean, it has visual accessibility issues, according to Wired as well. So this, it's a lot to love, but not enough is what I got from it. So.
Well, the compatibility thing is a major issue because if you have a library of like 1,000 games, and that's not even a lot according to Steam, the hundreds of thousands of games that are on there, I think, and you can only play like half that library at the moment, like that kind of sucks, right? You want to be able to play what you have on the go with certain limitations, right? Like Cyberpunk 2077, which I think you can actually play on there, but that may not be the best experience, because that's a pretty high performant or it requires a pretty beefy setup, even though the Steam Deck's pretty good. But I could see that game like, okay, maybe you don't want to play that. But like Doom Eternal, they that was one of the flagship games that they're like, check out Doom Eternal on it. It runs really good. So like, first person shooters within the last like couple of years should all be good. All those adventure card games, whatever else. But if some of those can't play just because of whatever compatibility issues or frame rate issues or whatever, that's kind of pretty big. But they can fix that though, right? They could
those are software updates, right?
Right.
Yeah. I'm no negative reviews. 50 is still running a mid-tier review as far as Metacritic. Anything below that would probably be considered like 4 or below would be considered like a negative review. I listen, this is why I didn't go, I wasn't an early adopter. I wanted to wait and see what some of the kinks were and see if they could work it out, right? I guess this would be sort of like a Switch. This would be the equivalent of like a digital Switch system, right? Because there are no physical games for the Steam Deck. It does have an SD card slot. I guess if you, if you can pirate some games, download some games, maybe you can play it on it because it is a handheld PC technically.
Yeah, I think that's more for extended storage for your Steam library. But yeah. I mean, we don't condone piracy, but you could certainly find ways to use it. Yeah.
Yeah, but this is a Switch all digital system, right?
Yeah, I mean, in terms of what it can do, like, in general, like the specs blow it out of the water, right? It is a very, very, very reasonably priced mid-tier PC in a portable form factor, right? Where like the Switch is, home hybrid console type thing, which is kind of neat. I think this has HDMI out, so I think you can hook it up to like a big screen monitor if you wanted to.
The docks aren't they do have docks where you can sort of dock it, right? That's not available just yet. Hopefully that'll be out in like another couple of weeks or a month or something like that. I thought I read
right
on IGN, but I'm gonna wait because I feel like this is gonna be obsolete in like 2 years as far as mid-level computers. I mean, technology grows so fast.
They're definitely going to make newer models, but anytime a newer model comes out, it's gonna out the gate. It's already going to be, it's like taking a brand new car off the lot, right? You lose like half the value as soon as it leaves the the parking lot. So,
I feel like in 2 years, in like 2024, 2025, Steam Deck 2 will be released, right? And that will fix maybe some of the issues people had with the original Steam Deck and upgrade it to whatever the latest technology is. And then I would be willing to maybe jump into that.
Beyond the physical battery issues and beyond the clunkiness of the console, and honestly, I think you could probably fix some of the battery issues via firmware updates. They're going to be making updates to this system all the time, and you'll be able to get, here's the latest version of Steam OS or whatever operating system is behind, like whatever Linux version is behind the whole thing. And you're going to see improvements to the games, and it's, within days, they're going to start having patches out and go, here's a new patch, download a better experience.
If you look
they're going to be supporting it.
If you look at it, it sort of reminds you of a Game Gear, doesn't it? Like, reminds you of a Game Gear.
Yeah.
Which is kind of big and clunky, right?
And had poor battery life.
It had poor battery life. Yeah. So, I kind of want something, where the Switch blows it out of the water. The Switch is definitely more on the sleek, thinner side of things, right?
Yeah, and like a quarter of the power or an eighth of the power. That's the difference. Yeah, you got like a full-on graphics card in there.
But I like having sort of a sleek model. So when technology catches up and the Steam Deck is a little bit more on a sleeker side, they've, sort of worked out some of the kinks and the issues that people are having now or people will have, and it's more powerful than this, then I'll jump in.
I'm gonna get you into PC gaming, Dan. It's gonna happen at some point. You're gonna own a device capable of playing PC games.
We're gonna be in a nursing home. Jeez. Okay, it'll be the Steam Deck 25.
Because you're missing out on some really great games that are either digital only or
that will
like
come out for limited
PC
run
only.
Eventually. That will come out for limited run eventually.
Well, no, some of them are only for the PC. They're not. There's no console version of them, right? There is a large amount of games, which are very good, which are games that are in your wheelhouse.
Name one. Give me an example. Name one game.
Feet to the Fire, huh? I'm gonna have to Google it real quick.
This is what Dave does to me all the time. Name one game. Name one thing. Give me a game that's PC only that I would love. That limited run hasn't said that they're going to put out a physical version for the Switch.
Let's see.
I want to know all these games that I'm missing.
I'm gonna have to get back to you, Dan. No. All right. Look, listen, fair enough. You put my feet to the fire right now. I'm gonna be honest. I'm going to have to come back. I will come back next week with a list of 10 games that I think Dan Robinson would love that are PC exclusive. All right. That's how I'm doing it.
All right. So I want a list of, if you're not going to give me one game now, next week I need 10 games that I would love and I'll look them up
Okay. Gotcha.
So, I don't think I'm going to be an early adopter. I'm not going to get into the Steam Deck just yet. I'm going to wait. For the Steam Deck 2 or the revised Steam Deck when it's a little bit slimmer.
2 years. Probably be 2 years before they do a revision.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But something that I will be an early adopter in, and that would be the PlayStation VR 2. Of course. We know it's confirmed that they were working on it, and now they have dropped the actual design. We know what the PSVR 2 will look like.
Yeah,
and it looks similar to the PSVR 1.
Yeah. We already saw the controllers, so that wasn't. It was really just a headset that was the big reveal. And yeah, it's similar. It's just a little bit more sleek.
No. So we didn't see the controllers. No, we didn't see the controllers. We knew that they said they were working on PSVR 2, that it's an official, and that they said that they were moving away from the Move controllers to.
Oh yeah, right. I guess we saw the Valve Index style like handheld thing, and that's essentially what it is.
We saw a patent for it that we didn't know if it was the official one, but it is like the Valve. It does.
Yeah. So they end up like slipping around your hands. You get the little joystick here, and then like the little buttons up top, so your thumb rests on where the buttons are, and then you kind of use that for your interactive buttons and all that. Yeah, I mean, there's not too much to say about it, although you had noted that the wire is hardwired, and what I mean by that is that there is no like plug on the headset proper. It's just wired to it. So if that wire
it's tethered to the headset, and
right,
it would be better if you could sort of disconnect it, and so you could put it away or maybe replace it if that gets damaged.
That's exactly right. You have a pet that gnaws on your wire, and your wire gets frayed. Good luck. You basically have to buy a brand new one. So, and it's like that's technology that's been around since the dawn of time. I mean, RCA connectors or a coaxial cable, right? They have thousands of different connectors. The headphones I'm wearing right now have a little detachable thing on the side, right? It's not difficult to do. You can get something that kind of locks into place so it doesn't fall out. They have good connectors. Yeah, it's a little upsetting. I mean, I know you're upset with the one wire. I'm at least happy they got it down to one wire. So single wire to the system, everything else is like kind of built in, which is good. But
yeah, the PS5 was made with that VR converter built into it already, right? So you plug it into that. That's awesome.
Yep.
I can't wait for the PSVR 3 where it's wireless, but you can hardwire it in if you want like a better experience, right? Like if you want a better frame rate, better graphics, you can wire it in, or you can do wireless.
Yeah.
Where you take a hit graphically. Right?
Right.
I think that will be the future in like 2027. right? 2026.
Yeah. I just don't think they were quite there yet. I mean, you can get low-powered headsets like, ones where you like slip your phone into it, or there's like a $200 Oculus, I think, or something like that. Oculus Go, maybe, or something like that.
Yeah.
That is like completely wireless, but it is a low-powered wireless VR experience. So, yeah. But I'm with you. PSVR 3 is gonna be amazing.
So, all right, let's switch gears. Something, rest in peace. That's not amazing. That is the cancellation of the series, not just the game, but the series of RBI baseball.
Man, it's
Rest
funny
in peace.
because it's the second time it's been canceled.
Yes, RBI baseball's been around since like the original, like the NES, right? Like that's been around
right.
for a long
86,
time.
I think. 86 in Japan, maybe. It was Famitsu Baseball, I think, or something like that. They renamed it RBI Baseball here, but is great. Had these cute little super deformed baseball players, but they got the license. So you had some of the real teams in there, which was awesome. It's just a fun kind of arcadey baseball experience.
Well, it worked out
stuff.
because MLB The Show was sort of PlayStation exclusive, right, for many years, and RBI Baseball was like the only baseball game that came out on other platforms, right?
That's right.
Not the Wii U, right? It did come out on the Switch, but it was the only simulation baseball game you could get on the Xbox. For a long time, right. But now that MLB The Show has gone multi-platform, Sony is putting it out on Xbox and the Switch.
Yep.
It's just there's no need for RBA baseball, right? Like their sales are dramatically gone down.
I would disagree. I mean, granted, I haven't played any of the new ones, but it always looks great. I'm like, I should totally play this game. I should totally play this RBI baseball. But yeah, I don't know. Like, competition's always good, right? Look at what people were. Well, no, I mean, I didn't. I mean, that's on me, all right? I understand that. But look at like Madden. Madden in the last X amount of years has been real stagnant. People have been upset. They kind of just slap a new coat of paint, and by coat of paint, I mean a roster update. I mean, they're not really innovating year after year because they don't really have to, You just make it look a little bit better and put a new roster in there, and then there you go, $60. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think RBA Baseball, the last one, sold too well, and now that MLB The Show is playing to different platforms, that's the real reason. Yeah,
but I just don't think it's something that's viable for them anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, if numbers aren't good, numbers aren't good. You got to go with where it's at, and that's not to say it's a bad game by any means, but it certainly doesn't have the budget of a Madden or like a 2K sports game or MLB The Show. Those are like top tier AAA. They're kind of all out. Like, you get everything in those games, right? Anything you want to do, you can do in those games.
All right. Let's talk about Nintendo. For many weeks we've talked about Xbox acquisition, Sony making an acquisition. Nintendo has now got into the acquisition game, and they have acquired SRD Company Limited. Now, you may say, who the hell is SRD Company Limited? You would be right. I had to do a double take and say, who the hell are these people?
Yeah.
Essentially, they are sort of a support studio that has been working with Nintendo since the 80s, by the way, on some of your favorite franchises. I think the first game they worked on was Donkey Kong.
Yep. The home port of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they've worked on many games, and from Mario games to Donkey Kong games, Mario Kart games, to Zelda games.
Right, Luigi's Mansion. Yeah,
Luigi's Mansion. Right, and I think in November, Nintendo invested $880 million in the company in developing video games, and they invested another $400 million in non-video game entertainment software. So they already invested over $1 billion a few months ago, and now they've acquired the studio. So
now they're like, all right, bring it in. Bring it in.
There's a BS. And I don't think they've done anything other than Nintendo games. So this
Right. It makes sense. It makes sense.
So they've, so this isn't. I know this isn't a sexy pick, but it's sort of like
It's a smart pick. Yeah,
it's a smart pick.
Yeah, it's
right?
kind of a no-brainer. Might as well, just like Nintendo should just buy Platinum Games. They
100%.
pretty much just make Nintendo games at this point. Last year, Nintendo bought Next Level Games, so they are making some acquisitions, some smart acquisitions. Not like you said, not big sexy acquisitions, but
to be fair, Next Level Games, who already had a working relationship with Nintendo, I forgot what the last game they worked on, off the top of my head, but they told Nintendo, hey, they made Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah.
Luigi's Mansion 3. That was the last game they worked on. They said, listen, we're looking to be acquired, so if you're not going to go, we may join Xbox, right? So Nintendo said, no, let's keep them in house.
Right,
Platinum Games, I think, would be a sexy pick for them and a smart pick for them at the same time, where you can keep, you got Bayonetta, right? And you got Wonderful 101 that won't go multi-platform or anything like that. Like, you keep all of those in house, right? So I think that would be a smart choice for them, and whatever new ideas that they have. I agree with that pick. They should make that. They should do something sexy like that,
right?
And get Platinum Games. It would be awesome if they could get Sega. That would be like mic drop moment, right?
That would be the thing. All of the Sonic games, the Virtual Fighters, all the racing games,
Yakuza games,
right?
Judgment, right?
Jet Set Radio, Panzer Dragoon,
maybe
Shining Force,
Shenmue.
There you go. Shenmue 4, Nintendo Switch exclusive.
Maybe they won't be exclusive, right? Now we have Nintendo logos on an Xbox box or a PlayStation.
Oh my god! I don't know if Nintendo would do that.
I think Nintendo.
They barely put out PC versions of their games.
I think Nintendo would do that if they did it, because they would see they would make a lot of money if they put out Judgment or put out like the Yakuza games, or not new franchises, but like old franchises.
Right, pre-existing, yeah.
Pre-existing franchise, yeah. And because I think they want Furukawa, I think he's done a lot of things that Nintendo historically, wasn't into, right? Like Nintendo prior to Furukawa, Nintendo was like copyright striking every YouTuber who talked about Nintendo games.
Yeah,
join the program. You had to join the program, so they stopped doing that. Something that was that uncharacteristic for what Nintendo would do. So and now they're making mobile games, right?
True. So yeah. They're always last to the party, though, right? So they're always dragging their feet. Nintendo is the last person to add. They're going to be the last people to add, like voice chat support.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ, we just got Bluetooth headset support for the Switch, and that came out like 5 years ago.
So I could see them doing something where it's like, all right, well, we bought Sega, or we did a merger or some kind of Sega. So I don't know how much Sega would be worth to buy if they would have the money to buy it. But hey, listen, Yakuza, Panzer Dragoon, these already pre-existing franchises that have been out on other systems, we'll put it out on other systems too.
Right.
And make that money, because you're making money off of us by putting out Major League Baseball and putting out Cuphead and Ori and the Blind Forest on our platforms with your company logo. We want to do the same. So I think Nintendo would do that. But I would love Sega. For my
Sega's the one. Yeah, Sega or Capcom. I think.
Well, all Japanese companies, and you can get bought by another Japanese company. That would make sense, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right. Speaking of Capcom, we got the Capcom countdown that we talked about last week, and we gave our wish list of what we want it to be, but it was the worst kept secret in the world. We knew what it was, and it was Street Fighter 6 announcement.
Oh, yeah. I knew it going in. It had to be. It's been 5 years. Well, I think for more than 5 years. Almost 7 years.
Came out
7 years.
Yeah, 15.
I think, yeah. And it was half-baked, Street Fighter V, when it came out. It was missing a lot. And they really went the length 3 seasons of character roster updates, a bunch of new modes, a ton of tweaks to the gameplay, and really kind of supporting it for the long haul. And I mean they had to. It was their fighting game. It's not like back in the day where they had 3 different fighting game series going on at once, and you could get a new version of the game coming out every couple of months. Street Fighter was it. Right? That's kind of their game. So we got it. We got a teaser for 6.
We got a teaser for 6. More in the summer. So I think if not yet E3, maybe at Summer Games Fest or something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
We'll hear more about. Do you think Street Fighter 6 will be released this year?
Unsure.
I'm gonna say no.
I think you may be right. What I can say is that Street Fighter games never make the holidays. Maybe there was some that came out for the holidays, but they don't really care about the holiday season. They'll put the game out when the game's ready.
Street Fighter 5 came out in April of 2015.
Right.
Right. So I'm gonna say they will follow suit and come out in the spring of next year.
I could see that. I think it really depends on what they show during the the convention season. What happens from May to August, right? Okay. What do they do at Paris Games Week or Tokyo Game Show or E3 or Summer Games Fest? I got to see how much, because what we got was a teaser of Luke. I think it's Luke. He was in season 3 of the character. He was the last character to come out for Street Fighter V. I feel like he's from Final Fight, but I'm not sure. But it was Luke and Ryu, and they kind of had their cool little poses, and it would move around the body, and then they would do the punch, and it was like Street Fighter 6. So we got that in a logo. We didn't get any gameplay, nothing else for it. A typical teaser. So it's not a lot to go off right now, but it does look more realistic, the art style. So there's that. Yeah, but I think we have to see what they put out over the summer. I can't really tell from this whether they're holding a lot. And I mean, obviously this was just to get buzz, right? They're like, look, we got to get back in the zeitgeist. People are over Resident Evil 8. What do we got? Well, we got Street Fighter coming. Okay, we'll make this little teaser, a little 30-second teaser.
But it wasn't without controversy, because when they did that, they showed the logo, the new logo for Street Fighter 6, and some people went a little crazy because they thought it looked identical to Adobe stock photo.
Well, it does. There is.
It is similar. It's similar. Very similar. There's some subtle differences. It's not a copy and paste.
Yeah.
There's subtle differences. Mm-hmm. But I'll be honest, I don't care.
Dan Robinson, no opinion. Well, okay.
No. I do have an opinion. I don't care.
Well, okay. Do you like the way it looks?
I do.
Okay.
I do like the way it looks.
Okay.
And with the little 6 at the bottom, people think it should be a part of the chemical chart.
Oh, it's a little element on the periodic table.
Yeah, there we go. That's what it looks like. That's what
SF6. It's sodium fluoride, right? It's a compound. Six. Sodium fluoride 6. Yeah. I mean, I people were upset, right? So I mean, okay. Let me go ahead and take a step back. I work with the Adobe stuff all the time. They have a stock library of videos, audio, and images and fonts and whatever. They have a very good library where you can kind of buy stuff and use them for your products and whatnot. Whether or not Capcom did this, I think, is not really the point, because people take inspiration from things all the time. Yeah, it does look very similar, but they did make some changes to it. I think they transformed it enough to go, okay. So some people were upset because, hey, it looks just like this thing. You didn't really do any work to it. I disagree. I mean, you take a look at the PS4 to the PS5 logo. All they did was change the number. Same exact logo. I mean, come on. They didn't put any work into it. But
the difference is that's their logo. They're saying this is a logo that was stolen from another company.
Well, I mean,
right?
well,
PlayStation 6 and PlayStation 7 can have the same logos, but it's PlayStation's logo. It's Sony's logo that they made.
It's not stolen. It's not necessarily stolen because they could have easily bought it and then modified it, and they're free to do that based on the license of what you buy. If it has a royalty-free license, then you can. Even if it has a royalty attached to it, and you have to pay whoever the owner is in perpetuity every time this logo is used. Capcom's got money. Capcom is free to do that. And that's not illegal. I would say more likely the designer of the logo took inspiration from it. And then, you got to say, like, well, how transformative is it, right? Obviously, the little 6 in the corner wasn't there. They changed the shape a little bit. They added the little splatter paint around it. I think the other thing, too, is people are like, I don't like the new direction of the logo. Because if you look at, like, Street Fighter 2, 3, 4, and all the way back to the first one, honestly, it kind of has that, like, brushstroke, kind of, impactful yellow, red logo, and it's kind of really aggressive and in your face, but I like the clean look. I don't know. I think it looks good. I think it's necessary. I think the logo for 4 is kind of garbage. I'll be honest. 5 is a lot better. 3 is pretty good. 2 is iconic, but 4 is way too busy. Again, you can barely tell what it is.
Again, I think the issue isn't that the logo is simplistic or anything. It's that they people think they just copied and pasted from someone else's logo, where the PlayStation logo is PlayStation's creation itself. So I think that's where sort of the uproar comes for, like, come up with your own logo. Don't just buy a stock photo, logo and modify it. That's where I don't care. They could have bought it, modified it, made it their own in some way, and I think it looks fine. I'm less worried about the stupid logo and more worried about the gameplay and story. Like, how's the gameplay? Like, that's the most important.
I mean, ideally, yes. At the end of the day, like, we don't know anything about the game, so the logo is probably the least concern. Yeah.
So we got Street Fighter 6 announced, but it was more of a teaser with more to come in the summer. They did drop something else that day, and that is Capcom fighting game collection that will be releasing in the summer. And this is a heavy hitter in my view. I think this people should be more excited for at this point until we see Street Fighter 6 gameplay. And we got Darkstalkers, the Night Warriors, which was the original game. We got Night Warriors, Darkstalkers Revenge, Vampire Saviors, The Land of Vampires, Vampire Hunter 2, Vampire Saviors 2, Red Earth, which never got released to consoles, Cyberbot, which was
Saturn exclusive.
Saturn
for the home console.
Japanese Saturn exclusive that I would love. That I have, in my it's in my eBay and watching, trying to buy the whole thing with the memory card. Super Gem Fighters Mini Mix, Super Puzzle Fighters 2 Turbo, and Hyper Street Fighter 2.
Yep.
This is a heavy hitter. This is something that you should get. And I know Brian isn't listening to the show, but Brian, this will be
that's his jam right there. Come on,
this is his jam. This will be a gift for him that I will be picking up for him for Christmas.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's a good mix. The Vampire Savior is the Japanese versions, I think. So they are slightly different. They do have some differences there. But those are great games. I wish that series would come back. Red Earth is apparently very good. Some of those characters appeared in Capcom Fighting Jam, which was like a mix of 5 different Street Fighter and Capcom fighting franchises. So we did get Hauser and I think the Giant Octopus and a couple other characters from Red Earth, but we never actually got that game on home consoles. So that's super cool. Cyberbots is where Jin came from Marvel vs. Capcom, right? That's good stuff. Super Gem Fighter is like a chibi version of Street Fighter, which is cool. Puzzle Fighter, classic. Yeah, man, it's good. It's good. I'm very, 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 very hyped for this, and I think this was the bigger news. Even though everyone's talking about the Street Fighter 6 logo, Capcom Fighting Game Collection is where it's at.
Definitely looking forward to buying this. I gotta buy 2 copies. I gotta buy one for me and one for Brian because Brian wants to buy Switch.
Yep.
First, like right now he has a Saturn and a PS3.
Oh wow.
I'm trying to get him to buy it. We're trying to get him a PS4.
Yeah.
The longest.
Yeah.
He now wants to get a Switch for his stepson.
Okay.
He wants to get a Switch for himself because he wants to play old. He's a Sega guy. He was. I was Super Nintendo. He was Sega. So he wants to play the Sega games.
Mm-hmm.
He likes the Sega collection.
Yep.
He loves fighting games, so I'm definitely picking this up and Street Fighter Anniversary collection.
Yes.
That up for him.
Yes.
For the Switch. So definitely want to get that for him. All right, let's go to a game that I was surprised that, Ubisoft was happy with the development of, because I forgot this was still in development, and that is Skull and Bones. Ubisoft is happy with the development progress. This game, we first saw this game at E3 of 2017, about 5 years ago, and it was supposed to be released in late 2018.
Right.
And then it was delayed, and then we heard nothing from it.
Right.
Nothing at all.
Skull and Bones, the pirate simulator, right? Kind of action adventure-y, a little Assassin's Creed, a little.
It was essentially Assassin's Creed 4 boat battles.
Right?
Without the rest of the Assassin's Creed story. That's
right.
People love the boat battles in Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag.
They were great.
Which, on the idea that, we could just have sort of a pirate boat game on its own. And I remember when we first started doing the show, I said, "Oh, this looks awesome if this is a single player if there's a single player experience here," because I thought for the most part they were going for the multiplayer thing.
It looked like a big open sea kind of play against a bunch of people type situation. Yeah. And I think it's interesting that they're like, hey, Skull and Bones is still a thing. Very happy about it. I think maybe they saw Sea of Thieves, which is a very similar experience from kind of what we know, and they're like, maybe we wait. Now, Sea of Thieves, not the greatest experience, kind of lacked a lot of content. They've been adding to it.
Be fair, they're adding to it now, and since you have Games Pass, we should play it. We really should.
All right. You know what? We should definitely play it. We should see how it is.
We should play it.
We should see how it is. Now, are you excited for it, Skull and Bones?
I'm looking forward to seeing what the new direction is, right? Because in 2019 they said they were taking it in a new. Late 2018 they said they were taking it in a new direction, right? So I wonder what that direction is.
They're taking it into space. That's the new direction.
Boat battles in space, all right? Floating.
It's not even spaceships. It's the ships.
It's boats. Everyone have Power Ranger suits so they can breathe.
Yep.
On deck and do space battles, right? Yeah.
This would be awesome.
They don't have to worry about sharks or the Kraken or anything. They just have to worry about running out of the air.
Yep. Oh.
Okay, that works. I can see that. Skull and Bones in space.
Right.
So, and you know what? We could take a stock photo from Adobe for the logo, right? And then we just.
There we go. I'm sure we could find one easy enough. All right.
Oh, we can just take the one that Capcom ripped off, right? It would be S&B.
Skull and Bones.
S&B, right? Skull and Bones, and then you have a little S at the bottom, right? The periodic table, little S.
There you go.
For space. For space.
Skull
for oxygen. Oxygen, right? There we go. It'll be similar to the oxygen table, right?
Right.
There we go.
What is oxygen? Oxygen, I think, is 1. It's the first periodic element.
There you go. S1. Space 1 for oxygen. There you go. That works.
We're geniuses, Dan. We're geniuses.
You know what? Ubisoft, that's for free. But if you get acquired for PlayStation or Xbox, you have to pay for it.
That's right.
Yeah, you got to pay for it. All right. And the last bit of news we have, Elon Musk wants to bring Steam to Tesla. So if you think the Steam Deck is too clunky and doesn't play your games correctly, you can probably now play it. If Elon Musk gets his way, you can play it on your Tesla car.
Oh my God. I don't how would this even work? Because obviously it's got to integrate into the big ass dashboard, right? That they have.
It can't be integrated while in use, while in motion, right? It has to be maybe integrated when you're parked, or maybe in the back seat, right? Like for people in the back seat.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, right? Like, you're not supposed to have distractions while driving, and it's already a big-ass screen with a bunch of different things that light up, and you hook your phone up to it, you got audio playing, you got your driving directions, right? There's already enough distractions. So, yeah, you'd have to lock it down to when you're not moving, not fun, or it has to be in the back seat where your kids can play it, also not fun for me. Yeah, it's weird. Okay. It's weird.
All right. No. You know where I think he got inspiration from?
What's that? Okay. From where?
I've been binge watching Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Longest on Netflix.
With David Hasselhoff. Yeah.
Yep. And on the second episode, because the first pilot episode, it's to get into like who he is and how he. The first real episode, David Hasselhoff was playing Atari in the driver's seat. He was playing the Atari while Kit was driving. I forgot what game he was playing. I gotta go back and check, but I forgot what game he was playing. So I think that's what Elon Musk wants. He wants your Tesla to be driving itself while you be playing Steam with the Steam controller.
See, that makes sense, right? Because when you do full automation, self-driving and all that, you don't need to be on the wheel. All right.
There you go.
There's ways to like override it and all that, and that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, that would be a scenario where that would work. If I can go and play Doom Eternal on the road in my damn Tesla Model S, okay, I would be down with that. And it may happen eventually once we get automated driving and it becomes a thing. That's a strong possibility. We could totally get Steam on there, and I'm sure Valve would be amenable to that, given they work out all of the safety concerns, right? That's really the thing.
All right. So that's it. That's all I got. Dave, you got any good weekend plans?
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get over these damn hiccups, Dan. I don't know why I'm hiccuping so much. That is my immediate weekend plans. My other weekend plans are finding a place for this damn Mega Man statue because it's huge.
It is huge.
It's
big.
Little heads up, if anybody buys one of these first 4 figure statues. I mean, this one in particular, I think some of the other ones are similarly sized. This does not fit in the IKEA bookshelves. The ones you see back there are the Calyx bookshelves, because they're only about like 13 inches by 13 inches.
Yeah, it's way too small.
This is like a 2 feet thing. Well, I didn't quite realize that. I'm like, oh, it'll fit. It'll be fine. It'll be like...
No, I would have told you it wouldn't fit. Come on. Come on. You're getting an actual statue. Those aren't like the special edition statues that are smaller in size that can fit. This is an actual... You're paying money. All that money you paid for was for the plastic to make this damn statue. Not the game.
It's not plastic, Dan. It's heavier than plastic.
Oh, there you go. There you go. I mean, you're proving my point. All the money you paid for the actual statue itself. You didn't pay for game, codes, DLC, extra skins. You didn't pay for a special edition box to keep the disc in.
Yep.
You paid all that money went for the material to make that statue.
I did.
Which is why I don't buy statues.
So, yeah. So how about you? What are you doing this weekend?
Well, the 3DS and the Wii U shops, or people are going on this shopping spree because they've seen an uptick in purchases, apparently, obviously, because it's going to shut down soon.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to look and see digital games that I don't have, see if I can purchase them, and see the games that I already did purchase to download, to make sure I have them ready to go, right? DSiWare, if you want to get those games, those are exclusive to the 3DS eShop. They aren't available anywhere else. So I definitely want to get that. I actually I want to say dusted off. I have all my 3DSs in sort of like a bin. So I charged my main, the new and Nintendo 3DS XL, right? That was the last one that they put out. I have that charging. I wanted to go in and see if I can buy some new games, and that's what I'm going to do.
Nice.
So that's about it.
All right. Well, that is episode 305 in the books, folks. And we want to thank you guys for listening to the show, for liking, commenting, and doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all of the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
Keep gaming.